Hello, cherished viewers. In today's gripping tale, Jack bravely battled a mysterious illness, uncovering a venomous plot tied to a shadowy land deal that threatened his very life. Tu Tien, his devoted partner, stood by him with unwavering love, racing to the market for remedies and crafting a healing meal to pull him back from the brink. At the farm, Jack discovered vials hinting at treachery, but his collapse under the scorching sun revealed the depth of the danger. Meanwhile, a shadowy figure, possibly Uncle, lurked with sinister intent, having poisoned Jack to sabotage the deal. The story reaches its climax as the doctor confirms the plot, and the family vows to confront the villain, their love a shield against the darkness. Justice prevails as the shadowy figure is exposed, and Jack and Tu Tien reunite in a tearful embrace of victory and love. If you crave more stories brimming with emotion and suspense, subscribe and turn on notifications to catch the next thrilling episode. The first fragile rays of dawn pierced the cracked window of Jack's modest home, casting a ghostly shimmer across the silent room as Tu Tien glides forward with the grace of a worried spirit, her heart pounding a frantic rhythm of hope and fear. "Jack, he must be lost in the depths of sleep now," she breathes, her voice a delicate thread woven with tender concern. "He's waged war against life's cruelest tempests. Oh, how my heart yearns to lift even a fraction of his burden." Her eyes linger on his fever-drenched form, a shudder rippling through her as she whispers, "Does his fever still burn like a relentless inferno? Should I descend to quell my restless soul? Sleep flees me, knowing he lies alone in that shadowed sanctuary below." Her mind drifts to the endless night before, her selfless watch by his bedside, a silent guardian as he slipped into unconsciousness, oblivious to the love that cradled him. A sudden rustle fractures her reverie. Jack stirs, his eyelids fluttering open like a soul emerging from a dark abyss. "Oh, he's awake!" she gasps, her breath snagging in her throat, a mix of relief and surprise dancing in her eyes. He blinks slowly, confusion etching deep lines across his weary face. Why is Tu Tien perched here on this cold chair instead of the warm haven of our bed? A soft flush creeps up her cheeks, warming her pale skin as she confesses in a voice trembling with devotion, "I feared your fever might claim you in the dead of night, so I kept vigil, but exhaustion betrayed me, stealing me into slumber." Moved by her sacrifice, he extends a trembling hand, his voice a soft plea wrapped in gratitude. "Then come, my dearest, lie beside me. Let us share this fragile peace together." She hesitates, her tone gentle yet resolute. "No, Jack, your strength must return first. I'll retreat upstairs soon." But his gaze hardens with an unyielding resolve. "No, Tu Tien, I insist with all my heart. Join me now, please, don't abandon me to this solitude." Reluctantly, she yields, her voice a whisper of surrender. "All right, I'll stay." And she slides beside him, their breaths intertwining in the quiet sanctuary of the moment. As they settle into the stillness, he murmurs with a faint smile, "How does my body fare now, my love?" "A touch better, I believe," he admits, his voice frail yet threaded with a fragile hope. She urges with maternal care, "Lie still, Jack, preserve what little strength you have." And he counters with equal tenderness, "You lie too, my dear, you must be weary beyond the stars." With a gentle reassuring smile he whispers, "Sleep, my love, let peace envelop you." And she nods, her eyes glistening. "Yes, Jack, you rest too, let healing find us both." Yet, beneath this tender cocoon, a chilling secret stirs. A crumpled note slips silently from his pocket, its cryptic scrawl hinting at a sinister poison laced into his collapse, a clue they're too drained to decipher in their fragile state. The morning unfurls with a surge of purpose as Tu Tien rises, her resolve hardening like tempered steel. His mother must still be adrift in her journey. she muses, snatching her worn basket with determined grace. I'll race to the market's heart for remedies to weave Jack's spirit back to health. Her phone jolts alive with a sudden buzz. Jack's voice crackles through the line, a lifeline in the dawn. "Mother, it's me." His mother's warmth floods the connection, a beacon of maternal love. "Jack, my precious son, are you mending under heaven's watch?" "A little, mother," he rasps, his voice a shadow of its former strength. She sighs, a note of frustration threading her tone. "I'm on my way, but the car betrayed me with a cruel breakdown, finally coaxed it back to life." Worry creases his brow, deepening the lines of his face. "Have you eaten, mother, to sustain your spirit?" "Not yet, my boy, I just stirred from sleep's embrace," he confesses with a hint of shame. "Nourish yourself, I'll be home soon to tend you," she commands with unwavering resolve, and he promises with a faint smile. "I will, mother, drive with the caution of a guardian angel." As Tu Tien ventures into the awakening world, a call pierces the morning air. "Uncle," the land dealer's voice booms with triumphant urgency. "The land deeds are primed and ready for your hand." Her heart leaps like a startled deer. "I'll come today with all haste. See you soon, uncle." Back home, Jack's absence gnaws at her soul like a persistent shadow. "Tu Tien!" A distant cry echoes through the empty rooms, but she's already lost in the market's vibrant chaos. "Sister, where can I find the finest chicken to heal my love?" she asks a vendor, her voice trembling with urgency. "There or here, take your pick," comes the vendor's casual reply. She presses forward. "Auntie, what's the price for this noble bird?" 150,000 VND per kilo. The vendor grins with pride. She selects the plumpest one, then seeks with fervent hope. "Auntie, where's the sacred tanga mix to mend him?" Directed to a bustling stall, Tu Tien bursts through the door, her arms cradling a treasure trove of hope and sustenance, her breath ragged from the morning's fervent quest, her eyes alight with a mixture of exhaustion and determination. "Jack, where has the wind carried him in this fragile hour?" she frets, her hands trembling as she slices the dua vang with meticulous care, each cut a prayer for his return. "I'll bring him water to soothe his parched soul, Jack," she calls, her voice echoing through the hollow rooms like a desperate plea. But the bed lies vacant, a cruel void where he should rest, the sheets cold and untouched. Panic claws at her chest like a wild beast unleashed. Where's he wandered in his fragile state, defying the limits of his mortal frame? With a racing heart, she dials his number, her fingers fumbling in desperation as if grasping for a lifeline, and his voice answers like a beacon cast into her storm. "It's me, Tu Tien." Relief washes over her like a gentle tide, soothing the tempest within. "Jack, where are you?" "I just returned from the market's depths. Why venture out while still so weak?" He soothes her with a calm that belies the strain etching his words. "I felt a spark of strength ignite within me, my love, just heading to the farm. I'll return to your arms soon." She pleads with a voice thick with emotion, tears glistening at the edges. "Hurry home, my heart. I'm crafting a meal to restore your spirit." He agrees with a promise that steadies her trembling soul. "I will, my darling." And she hangs, her heart a tempest of love, fear, and unwavering hope. In the kitchen, she hums a melody of hope, her hands moving with the grace of a healer tending a sacred rite. What to begin with? Let's tame this noble chicken into a potion of life to revive him. Consulting her phone like a sacred oracle guiding her path, she cleans the bird with reverent care, her fingers tracing each feather with love, tosses in the fragrant NIQ, and sets it to simmer, the aroma rising like a sacred incense to heal his spirit. This will mend his broken frame and soothe his weary soul. she whispers, her eyes glistening with determination as she stirs the pot with a rhythm of devotion, the steam curling around her like a protective veil. At the farm, Jack's voice cuts through the morning haze. A call to an older ally. "Old man, I'm here." An elderly figure turns, his weathered face lighting up with a flicker of recognition. "Jack, my lad, a sight for these tired eyes." Jack asks with a trace of exhaustion tugging at his voice. "How fares the land work under your watchful gaze, my friend?" Back shrugs, his shoulders heavy with the weight of years and unspoken sorrows. "I level it for a few meager coins. Keeps the soul from withering into despair." Concern floods Jack's heart like a rising tide, and he insists with gentle authority. "Old man, it's too grueling for your noble spirit. Rest now, let's share words of wisdom to lighten your burden." Back's eyes dim with a sorrowful gleam, a window into a painful past. "Life's been a cruel mistress since my son strayed like a lost sheep, leaving me to beg for scraps in the dust of forgotten dreams." Jack's heart softens like melted wax under the warmth of compassion, his voice a balm of empathy to heal old wounds. "Every soul bears its scars etched by fate's unyielding hand. Your son might yet find his path to redemption under a kinder sky. For now, guard the farm as my trusted sentinel. I'll seek gentler work to honor the wisdom of your years." Grateful tears glisten in Back's eyes like morning dew, his voice cracking with emotion as he confesses, "My past was a tempest that tore my world asunder. My son's recklessness shattered our bond like fragile glass. Your kindness, Jack, is my sanctuary, a lighthouse piercing the storm of my solitude." Jack nods with a solemn vow, his tone steady and resolute. "Rest, old friend, I'll scout the site with my own eyes to ensure its safety." As he surveys the sprawling dirt mounds, the sun's relentless glare beats down like a vengeful drum, weakening his resolve and hinting at a collapse that looms ever closer, a silent threat in the shimmering heat. Back home, Tu Tien's culinary masterpiece nears its crescendo. The kitchen alive with the symphony of simmering hope, the air thick with the promise of healing. The phone rings like a sudden thunderclap shattering the quiet. His mother's voice pierces the air with maternal urgency. "Tu Tien, has Jack risen from his slumber to face the day?" "He's out on urgent business, mother," she replies, her tone laced with a tremor of worry that betrays her calm facade. Back sighs, a heavy cloud of concern settling over her words like a gathering storm. Still frail, yet he roams like a warrior unbroken by the chains of weakness. Tu Tien offers with a warm invitation, her voice a lifeline of comfort. "Sit with me, mother. I'm weaving a meal to mend his broken spirit." Back inhales deeply, the divine scent enveloping her senses like a divine embrace. "What's this heavenly aroma that dances in the air like a blessing?" Tu Tien smiles with pride, her eyes shining with love. "Gatan and Dao Din water, a gift for Jack's recovery to restore his strength." Back marvels, her voice rich with admiration and gratitude. "You're a blessing sent from the heavens. Let me taste this labor of love crafted with such care." As they sip the warm broth together, Back muses with a furrowed brow, her concern deepening. Jack's drive is a double-edged sword that cuts deep, but this scorching heat could shatter his fragile frame like glass. Tu Tien nods, her voice a prayer lifted to the skies. "I pray the winds guide him home soon, safe in their gentle embrace." Tu Tien's unease festers like an open wound as Jack's absence stretches into an agonizing eternity, each tick of the clock a dagger piercing her soul with relentless precision. "Jack, where has fate's cruel hand dragged him in this dire hour?" she whispers, her mind a whirlwind of dread, guilt, and desperate hope. "He's fought valiantly against life's darkest foes with the strength of a lion. Could I have woven a stronger shield around him to protect his noble heart?" The door crashes open with a violent thud that shakes the foundation of her world. Jack staggers in, sweat cascading down his face like a broken dam unleashed, his body trembling on the brink of collapse as if the earth itself rejects his weight. "Jack!" she screams, her voice a piercing cry of terror that rends the air. As she rushes to his side, her hands outstretched in desperation, reaching for the man she loves. His mother shrieks, her voice a wail of anguish that echoes through the house. "Jack, what devilish force has struck you down with such malice?" He gasps, his words a fragile thread barely holding to life. "Just dizzy." Before his legs buckle beneath him, and he crumples onto the bed like a fallen warrior abandoned by his strength. "Summon a doctor. We must save him from this abyss." Tu Tien cries, her voice breaking with urgency that borders on hysteria. But he rasps with fading strength, a defiant whisper against the encroaching darkness. "No, I'll recover with time's gentle grace." His mother insists with a mother's fierce resolve, her eyes blazing with determination. "We need aid to lift this curse from your soul. Support him, Tu Tien, with all your might." Tu Tien grabs a basin of water, her hands shaking as if caught in a storm, and tends to him with a tenderness that defies her fear. "Mother, let me wipe away this torment. Why risk the sun's wrath in your weakened state?" He defends with a weak smile that tugs at her heart. "I felt a flicker of strength return, had urgent tasks to conquer for our future." Back scolds, her tone a thunderclap of worry that shakes the room. "You're a fool to tempt fate with such recklessness. Rest now, my son." Tu Tien pleads, tears streaming down her cheeks like a river of sorrow. "Please, Jack, let's call for help. I've never witnessed you so frail. It rends my heart into pieces." Reluctantly, he yields, his voice a whisper of surrender that carries his love. "For your sake, my love, yes, bring the healer to ease your fears." As he sips the cool Daodin water, she coaxes with a voice thick with love that wraps around him like a warm embrace. "Eat, Jack. Reclaim the strength that defines your noble spirit." His mother adds with a proud nod, her voice a beacon of hope. "Tu Tien's gift is your salvation. Taste it, my son, and let it heal you." He savors the Gatan, its warmth a balm to his tortured soul. "Heavenly, thank you, my angels who light my path." She beams through her tears, her smile a fragile bloom of joy. "I braved the market's chaos at dawn, seeking the finest treasures to heal you, my love." Back chimes with a radiant smile that warms the room. "She's a treasure beyond measure. Eat, restore your spirit to its former glory." Between halting bites, he murmurs with a faint resolve, "I'll heal. Don't let fear consume your beautiful soul." Tu Tien insists with unwavering determination, her voice a command wrapped in love. "Finish this, then take the medicine to seal your recovery and banish this shadow." Back nods, her voice firm and unyielding. "I'll fetch the doctor to unravel this mystery. Eat all, my brave boy, for your mother's peace." The air thickens with a revelation that chills the room to its core. Jack's collapse masks a venomous plot, perhaps a rival's poison from the farm's shadowed dealings, a sinister thread woven into their lives. As he eats, love and suspicion collide like clashing storms, promising a battle against treachery that will test the very fabric of their souls. The doctor arrives, his face grave as a storm cloud, and examines the vial Jack produces with trembling hands. This is no natural illness. It's a calculated strike, a poison meant to silence." Tu Tien gasps, her voice a mix of horror and burning resolve. "Who would dare weave such evil into our lives?" The doctor's eyes narrow with a detective's keenness. "The land deal holds the key. Someone seeks to silence Jack with this venomous blade." As Jack's strength returns, fueled by their love like a phoenix rising, a vow forms in his heart, to unmask the villain and reclaim their peace, their union a beacon against the encroaching darkness. The tension escalates as Back bursts in, breathless and wide-eyed. "Jack, I saw a shadow at the farm. A man with cold eyes like death itself. Tu Tien's heart pounds, a drumbeat of fear and fury. Was it uncle? The land deal's dark hand. The doctor nods grimly, his voice a solemn pronouncement. We must confront this foe. His signature is...
I knew giving thanks was completely beyond me. I hoped that week would help me heal. After 2 years of caregiving and trying to keep my business go at the same time, I felt like a burned out survival of war. I was just making time until I could join Jack. After all, at 54, what did I have to looking forward to? The future was black. The waiter approached my table asking if I needed anything. To my surprise, I said, yes, if you know anyone here who is a recent widow or widower, I would appreciate talking to her or him. Again, to my surprise, she told me about Phyllis.